Hello again from Chicago Union Station. I'm about to catch a BNSF train out to Harlem Avenue to grab Paces 307 to what I think is the only active transit center in the region with only one bus route. So I was going to do like a little travel montage of me like getting on the train leaving, us getting to Harlem, and then start the video back up from there. But it's currently 5 minutes after our scheduled departure, and we are still at Union. It just came on the PA, engine problems. We are now 10 minutes late. Give it up for minute 15. My entire plan schedules out the window now, so the lights just came back on, and I'm hoping that's a good sign. So we're gonna leave soon. Okay, never mind. We are now a half hour late, exactly halfway to the next scheduled outbound train. All right, so update. So that train is now like 35 minutes late and counting. The conductor came through, said they don't know when it's going to be fixed, and if it does get fixed, that train might become an express train, just because it's so late already. What they recommended and what I am doing is I'm just going to grab the next train at 12:33, because I know that one's going to be a local and stop where I want it to. So I'm taking the moment to come in here and go to the restroom. All right, take two. Hopefully this one leaves on time. All right, so now this train is 6 minutes late, and we are still in Union Station. I picked the wrong day to do this.
Attention all passengers, we're holding out waiting on mechanical who should be moving shortly.
At what point do I just say screw it and bail? I think it's less sunk cost fallacy and more, I just want to see how long this is going to take now. Because this is ridiculous. This is a little ridiculous. I just heard the door closing chime. Hopefully that's an indication that we're about to move. Alright, so this train is 17 minutes late, combined with the other train I was on that didn't run. I am now...
Attention all passengers, we apologize for the delay. We had a brake issue, but it is fixed, so we are on the move.
I am now cumulatively 77 minutes late. Honestly, this video I don't even think is about the transit center anymore. It's just about, can I leave Union? Apparently, yes I can. 77 minutes after. Thankfully, the 307 is relatively frequent, especially for a pace route. So, if it was like a half-hourly or hourly pace route, I probably would not have bothered continuing. But thankfully, it's pretty frequent.
A yard for mechanical inspection.
All right, so it's about 8 minutes until the next 307, so that's not too bad. All right, so back to the actual subject of this video. I said this is the only active transportation center with only one route, and the terminology and semantics here are important. There's a lot of bus terminals and park and rides listed on Pace's website with only one route, but this is the only one that's listed as a transportation center. And at least to me, transportation center implies that there are multiple routes converging together. There is another transportation center listed on the website with only one bus route, but that also has Metra, whereas this only has the bus route. Okay, so correction. Pace lists it as a park and ride on the website, despite it being named a transit center. And if you click on it, it's listed as both a park and ride and a transportation center. So I don't know what's going on here. Active is also another important identifier. I know of at least one transit center in the region that no longer has any bus routes going to it, but Pace doesn't list it on its website. So is a transit center still a transit center if there's no transit at the center?
Stop. South.
Alright, so this is off at the 8th Street intersection of the transit center. So I'm just going to walk over here. So it's too windy for the meeting. This is going to fly off. Alright, let's take a look at the transit center. It was the only fixed route. Although you can see it does have some more berths for other routes. We do have a countdown, real-time countdown. So that's nice. Seating area, another countdown. Seating area with heat. Let's see, is that on? No, I could really use it today. Some bike racks, some more seating, trash can, and a bus. It is also apparently an official paratransit stop, so it has that going for it. As you can see, it's not really near anything. It's kind of just close to this empty lot, Hell intersection, gas station, hotel, strip mall, and that. The stadium opened in 2006 as Toyota Park and was home to the Chicago Fire soccer team until they left in 2019. It currently hosts Chicago Stars soccer games, at least until they leave in 2026. It's also home to Chicago Fire 2, the reserve team of, well, Chicago Fire. It was renamed to SeatGeek Stadium in 2019. The transit center itself is relatively new, first showing up on the February 2017 RTA map as a Toyota Park and Ride, serving as the endpoint for Pace's 856 Express bus into the loop. That bus was short-lived, ending in 2019, with the 855 instead making some stops at the stadium. Pace also began running the 387 SeatGeek Stadium Direct bus in March 2017, providing service for special events between the stadium and Midway. However, this service was also short-lived, being suspended due to COVID in 2020, along with the 855 trips to the stadium. Since then, only the 307 stops here. It used to end at 63rd and Archer, where the 63W and 62H end, but it got extended down here in, I think, about 2019. And this had already been renamed to Bridgeview Transit Center in 2018. The 386 goes by, but it doesn't come in here. It goes by in Harlem, so you have to kind of walk out that way to get it. So, what's the future of Bridgeview Transit Center? Honestly, I don't know. I could foresee Pace maybe rerouting the 307 over to Midway or back to 63rd and Archer, effectively closing the center. But it's important to note, Pace doesn't actually own the transit center. It's whoever owns the lot, and I don't know if that's the city or someone else. So maybe they can't do that. Maybe there's like a obligation that they have to serve this. I don't know. I know they studied making the Harlem route a pulse line, but I don't think that's high on the list of pulse corridors. Renaming it a park and ride also doesn't really make sense, since the 307 isn't really something you would park and ride for. And I don't think they should bring the 855 back down here because it's so close to Midway in the Orange Line. So if you're coming to park and ride here, might as well just go to Midway, grab the Orange Line and a bunch of other buses. Ultimately, I could see it being used for the special event bus if they ever bring that back, or serving more bus routes if like the area around the stadium gets like redeveloped or something. But as of now, I think it should just be reclassified as a bus terminal on Pace's website. This is obviously very important, and I am not the only one who remotely cares about this.